hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
Here we got the restart zone to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Welcome back to the Goat Locker Racing Alexander PC's ARCA West Series, where after a great race last week to open up the season at Daytona, the drivers will take on the challenge of a whole different type of racetrack tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up here in the booth tonight by Bradley Cooper, who is also our producer, and we have 80 laps coming at you from Texas. Bradley, tell us a little bit about this track.
Well, it was reconfigured a few years ago. They kind of changed the banking into turns 1 and 2, and that sets up 3 and 4 now. Back in the day, they were pretty symmetrical turns, very steep banking, but now it's kind of a roll into turn 1, and you can see a difference in banking, 20 to 24 degrees, and it's progressive, but into turn 1, you can get a good run down the backstretch, but you better get to that driver's inside. It's going to be difficult to complete passes here at this 1.5 mile speedway.
Drivers gritting up right now, but we're going to take a quick look at the points first before we take you to your starting lineup. Brandon Wallace, with the win last week in the pro class, holds down first in the points. Travis Gilbert, Sean Kaiser, Trevor Dyer, and Christian Angel round out the rest of your top 5. They're followed on the pro side by Mark Whitley, Jake Ellingson, Riley Marabello, Jake Ham, and Barry Stevens. On the AM side, Doug Macedo got the win in the first race of the season. Noah Hogard, Oki Montgomery, Dave Calvert Sr., Bobby Bender, Chris Bargetzi, Jared Green, Thaddeus Friel, Corinne Smith, and Ashton Acero Nolan are the rest of your top 10 in the AM class. On the starting grid for tonight, as we take a look at the race analysis, 80 laps, 45-mile-an-hour pit road speed, 4 tire sets, 2 green-white checkers, and 65% fuel as well. The winner of the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award tonight is the 46 car of Sean Kaiser, grabbing that pole award in the 46 car. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning. They're local and veteran certified, and when they do well, they do good in the community. Starting on the outside of the front row will be Jake Ellingson in the 27. Mark Whitley, 3rd. Trevor Dyer, 4th in the 64 car. 2 drivers up there in the pro points. Christian Angel rolls off in P5 tonight in the 79, with Bobby Bender on his outside in the 96. Row 4, Dave Calvert Sr. and Chris Bargetzi. Row 5, Thaddeus Friel and Joshua Thornton.
In possession with Ashton Acero Nolan. Barry Stevens going to start back at 12. Isaac Ortiz is going to start in 13th with Dawson Delaney in 14th position. Halfway through the field here with Brandon Wallace, Daniel Parks at 16th. 17th, Oki Montgomery. Bill Hogard is going to be 18th. 19th, Skylar Daly. Chuck Phelps, Peg Leg Phelps in 20th.
Starting back from there in 21st tonight will be David Calvert in the 41 car, next to Daniel Kirkeel in the 83. Hamza Khan rolls from 23rd in the 905 next to Douglas Macedo, last week's AM winner. Jake Ham will have an EOL, but he was scheduled to start 25th before that. Joshua Unger goes from 26th. Hayden Meir, Nick Trussell, Darren Price, Armando Melgoza, the remainder of your top 30.
First back here with Alan Bergen and Mike Swartz and 32nd position, Brock Price, Larry Poley, and Mark Cofield and Kevin Price electing not to take a time here this evening.
That'll be the field for 80 laps here in the ARCA West Series at Texas. It's Sean Kaiser and Jake Ellingson on the front row. Pace car is in, and we're green at Texas. As we head down into 3 and 4, Kaiser has the lead here in Texas with Jake Ellingson and Mark Whitley side by side for that second position. Whitley diving down the inside. They're trying to get P2 away from Ellingson. He'll have this advantage down into turn 1. The inside lane is where you want to be, and he's got himself and Trevor Dyer rolling down there. Dyer up the road a little bit. Moves that 27 car up the racetrack, and that'll open it up for Christian Angel on the bottom. Almost 3 wide there for a second, but it's Dyer losing the spot. He'll slip back to 4th, maybe 5th if Angel can get the run.
I was watching there in the background. It looked like Jake Ham maybe had a problem. Going to end up down on pit road behind the wall here momentarily. But a little bit of an issue off of turn 2 and a check up there out of the corner.
Sean Kaiser still out right now. Here comes Mark Whitley making the move up the inside for the race lead. Whitley dives it down to the bottom there. He's got Ellingson behind him. He's got Christian Angel right back there as well. But it's Whitley through on the bottom, makes the move. He'll lead lap 3. First lap led of the night. Jake Ellingson trying to take advantage of that, but Sean Kaiser slams the door on him off into turn 1.
Let's see if we can take a look back here at the session events. See what might have happened. We have 2 different incidents here, as looks like this is probably 2 different times that Alan Bergen had problems. There's this issue.
Let's see what happened here.
Lap 1.
Alan Bergen in the 89. Oh, in the wall up top there is that 98 car. Bounces off the wall. Nothing Alan Bergen was going to be able to do about that one.
And we kind of missed it here, but we'll take a replay on that as well. This is Hayden Mirror coming down pit road, and I'm not sure if they lost it coming out of the pits. Problem for the 84 car right after that. It might have been coming down pit road to get damage repaired, but Alan Bergen has popped up on my session events 3 times in a row, may have crashed. So I think it's done for the day for the 89.
Mike Swartzen was that car who hit him. He's the 935 on your ticker, driving the 98, and I believe we go around the lap car there of Jake Ham. Had a 30-second stop and hold to start tonight's race, so he is already 3 laps down behind the wheel of that 85 car. Massive hole to crawl out of in 80 laps at Texas as Mark Whitley continues to hold the lead. Single file up here through most of the first couple spots. We got a car majorly loose. Nick Trussell with a good save at the back of the field. That could have been a scary moment for that car.
Trussell a little off the pace here last time by, about a half a second slower than your lead cars in the AM series. Bobby Bender ran a 30.375 and Trussell 30.751. So that's 5/10 a lap. You're going to lose a lot of ground. You got to try to find your rhythm and get those lap times shaved down. This time a little bit better, 2/10 faster.
Closest battle on the track is for that AM lead right now as Thaddeus Friel Jr. has just sent it up the inside of the 96 car of Bobby Bender. Friel taking that AM lead away, looked like pretty easily there on the inside. Bender didn't put up too much of a fight for it. He'll slip back to P2 in the AM class, P7 overall in this race in that 96 car. Barry Stevens is going to be the next car there, but he is a pro driver. A little bit of a battle developing further behind them as well as you have Joshua Thornton in the 25. Working on the inside of Chris Bargetzi in the 441, but Bargetzi holds him off. We'll see if Thornton tries another move up the inside.
Field's very spread out already. You're seeing little groups, but for the most part, as we have a caution come out. It's in the back of the field. Joshua Unger into the wall. Looks like he had some help from maybe Douglas Macedo.
We will take a look at that one and see what brought that caution out. I think Douglas Macedo involved. Oh, already having a close moment right there. Unger down on that inside line, runs it up the track a little bit. Coming to turn 2. Oh, you're going to see Macedo hit the wall in front of him, take a weird ricochet, and just collide with Unger. Not the first car we've seen have a major accident just as a result of someone kind of getting into him.
Pushing up the racetrack, dirty air on top of that, still putting more wheel into it, never the answer. When you find yourself cranking the wheel longer and longer, Sky, you know it's probably not going to end well. You're going to end up in the water.
Yeah, never a good sign when that car hits the wall up in front of you, because it is going to result in some problems basically every time. And with 4 tire sets available in this race, you're going to see almost everybody come down pit road, take some gas, take some tires before they pull it back out on the racetrack, especially with only a 65% fuel load tonight. You want to make those stops when you can. We're going to see a couple cars stay out. Looks like it's going to be Chris Bargetzi, Massaro Nolan. Mark Whitley is going to lead the charge off pit road on a fuel-only call from the driver of that 74 car. He'll be joined by Christian Angel as well on a fuel-only strategy. We've got, looks like 10 cars who have stayed out entirely. Bargetzi, Massaro Nolan, Isaac Ortiz, Skylar Daly, Chuck Feltz, Oki Montgomery, Krikil, Melgoza, Trussell, and Kahn all deciding not to pit there. So it's going to be a whole new order up at the front of the field.
This kind of flips things around, puts a lot of the AMP guys ahead of the pro drivers, but Willie still maintaining the lead here for the Pro Series, but now has 10 cars ahead of him. He hasn't had to deal with dirty air, so this might help Christian Angel get around. We'll have to wait and see, but right now it looks like Bargetzi, Ashton, Rosario, Nolan going to be the front row for this restart.
And that is going to be a big shakeup here, because a lot of these drivers who are now on this front row started deeper back in the field. Cars who went from maybe just outside the top 10, even further back than that. So it's a huge, huge shakeup. And we'll see if any of these drivers are able to take advantage of their newfound track position and get up to the front of the field. As the pace cars lights go off and everyone gets joined back up, we'd like to thank one of our partners here at Goat Locker Racing. That is GTR Simulators. GTR Simulators are a trusted leader in professional grade racing and flight simulators. They deliver immersive, real-world experiences trusted by racers, pilots, educators, and entertainment venues worldwide. From home setups to commercial and training solutions, GTR Simulator puts you in the driver's seat. And there is a special discount for GLR in the shop tab at goatlockerracing.org if you are interested in acquiring anything from GTR Simulators. So we thank them for their continued support of Goat Locker Racing. As we get ready to go back green here, and the lights on the pace car are going to come back on. So it looks like we might go one more time. We can thank yet another one of our partners while we're at it. That is the title sponsor of the Alexander PC's ARCA West Series. It's Alexander PCs. Alexander PCs is a custom and gaming PC builder who have been modding and building systems since 2002. They are a veteran-owned and operated family business, and all of the team members, support, and production are US-based. All desktop PCs come with an industry-best lifetime limited warranty and service guarantee. Work, play, conquer, Alexander PCs. And now the lights on the pace car are off, and we should get ready to get back going on lap 14. How you feeling, Bradley?
Confused. Thought I had all these things in here, but yeah, big thanks to the sponsor, Alexander PC, and I think a lot of these sponsors deserve their billboards, so I'm going to make sure that we get them up there as quickly as we can. There we go. So there, now that we've got that fixed, I apologize to everybody. But sometimes I think I'm good to go, and I quickly find out that I'm not.
We will get ready to get back going here. Mark Whitley is very far down on that racetrack. He's going to need to pull up in the line here for this restart. He's almost like he's trying to put an Indy 500 3-wide start on him from back in about row 6. So it'll be a whole new look on the front row. We will have no cars who started up in the top 7 actually in the top 8 or 9 cars here, as it'll be 8th place starter Chris Bargetzi on the inside of 11th place starter Ashton Acero Nolan, Ortiz, Daly, Phelps, the remainder of your top 5 at the moment. Pace car will pull it down into the pits this time, and it'll be Bargetzi and Acero Nolan, a whole new look to the front row. They'll come down into the restart zone, and we're green at Texas.
Rough start in the back of the field here. A lot of wheel spin. You're already seeing the 74 Whitley trying to get away. Sean Kaser actually contact in the background. Wide one.
Are we going to get a caution here? There we go. Sean Kaiser finally around. He tried his best to not catch up the field, but there are going to be a couple cars good and wrecked as a result of that one towards the back of the pack, and we will have to get a replay on that one because Sean Kaiser, he was trying to save it for a while, and it just didn't work out for him. Looked like he had a little help there. There was just that big stack up that we saw in front of him, and he checked up, took some contact from Trevor Dyer behind, tried to save it. Just couldn't keep it off the racetrack. Made contact with the 28 of Barry Stevens, and it piled up about 7 or 8 cars here in the back of the field. There you go.
And we saw that checkup, and Sean actually had a little bit of an advantage there, got to the inside, but drivers on driver's right. I think trimmed him down to the apron. Watch this one more time. If we can get a better angle with this. See, he jumped a lot of spots. He didn't really lose the advantage there. Going to go driver left to the 25 car, and here's the checkup from the 022, and that just puts him in a bad situation.
Yeah, there were cars all over the racetrack there. I mean, props to Kaiser. He tried his best to keep that thing off the racetrack, but it just didn't end up working out for him. Weird hit for Jake Ham there. Ended up getting 2 tires off the ground. Little bit of air time. He ends up, I wouldn't say he took too much damage.
Tires leaving the ground. It's tough to say. Watch this right here. Trying to squeeze. Getting skinny. Yeah, I think a little bit of right front damage there.
Yeah, I would have to imagine that he certainly took a little bit of damage there. Not what he would have wanted. As we hit lap 16 in this race, and pit stops are going to begin. Looks like it's going to be a lot of cars who are already towards the back of the field, including Ortiz, Daly, Dave Calvert Sr., and some of the cars involved in the wreck, like Kaiser and Barry Stevens, are in. Your top 5 have all stayed out after not pitting still. That's Bargetzi back through Daniel Krikil. You've got Nick Trussell and Hamza Khan who have also stayed out, but they're running more towards the mid-pack right now in 12th and 13th, respectively. I think part of it is just going to be maybe you feel you haven't actually put too many laps on those tires and say, you know, if you're running back in 25th, we'll check where Chuck Felt started here. He started back in 20th. So maybe the thought process here is even if, you know, he falls back to 10th or 11th and a caution comes out in 10 or 15 laps, still going to be better than the 20th position he was running in, and then he'll likely be able to pit with everybody else. So that's likely going to be the strategy for a lot of these cars who started further back in the field and are on this strategy of staying out for the time being. I mean, Mark Whitley, I don't think has actually taken tires. He came down for a fuel-only pit stop, so he's really not that much worse off than some of these cars in front of him.
Yeah, if they're available, though, it's tough to pass them up. And especially in a place like Texas, when we're talking about the racetrack itself. But how about the weather? 124 degrees. That's going to eat these tires up. So in my mind, I would come down for 4 of them every chance I got. You know, maybe save one in the back pocket for a late race caution.
The first cars who are on 4 tires are Trevor Dyer back there on the inside of row 5, and then you've got, looks like Bobby Bender and David Calvert a little deeper in the field, restarting 13th and 15th. Pace car will pull in here. Still Bargetzi, still Asaro Nolan on the front row. Bargetzi is going to go at the very end of the extreme scoring restart zone, and we are green once again in Texas.
Lots of wheel spin in the back.
Oh, we're wrecking. There goes the 08 car around. Is he going to keep it off the track? Yes, he will. No caution there for the 08 of Thaddeus Friel going around. There's the yellow. We dodged it for a second there.
Yeah, I thought he was off the surface enough. He backed up there on the pit road entry. I think that's what drew there.
That would be what did it there, as Hayden Muir came limping past him.
Here's the restart going wrong again. You can see all the wheel spin throughout the field. There's a check up there with Brandon Wallace, got to the back of the 79. There's a check up on the inside with the 41. Him got into the back of, I believe that's the 96, and then the 08, nowhere to go. Locks it down, but locks it down in the middle of traffic. It's a wonder nobody hit him.
Yeah, and then he just kind of came back up on the road there, and that was what triggered that caution when the damaged car of Hayden Muir limped its way past. I was surprised by how much space there was between the cars, especially in the back on that restart. Usually you like to see cars all tight together when we go back green, but there was a lot of space in that field.
Yeah, we'll probably hear race control chatter telling these drivers to tighten it up a little bit, because that's part of the situation too, is guys have such a big gap, and if anybody gets a wheel spin, you can't react. You're already coming up to speed, right? You've probably got a 5-10 mile per hour difference because you had that gap in front of you. And if they miss a shift or spin a gear or spin the tires, it's basically a roadblock at that point. You're going to run into them. So I would assume race control is going to try to tighten this up for the next restart, and maybe we can get some green flag laps in.
We will see if that is the case. This is good for those cars who have not taken tires yet, because all of these cars who have are just kind of heat cycling these tires. They get going, they get a good start, they heat them up, and then they can't use them anymore. So that is going to hurt all of these drivers who came down for new tires less than 10 laps to go, because they're going to have to deal with, I would say, worse heat cycles, more wear. They're not fresh tires anymore. They've had about 8 laps of cautions put on them, especially with the heat on this racetrack. That is going to cause some problems for those drivers who came down and took 4. While we're here, let's thank another one of our partners at Goat Locker Racing. That is Glove Station. At Glove Station, they are committed to providing quality gloves and protective gear for a wide range of your daily activities and jobs. From tinkering on home DIYs to working in industrial environments and everything in between, Glove Station has got you covered. With the endless amounts of safety products on the market, they want to make it effortless for you to find the right protection for your needs. And we thank Glove Station for everything they do, both for Goat Locker Racing and the ARCA series that they were the title sponsor of last season. They have been a large sponsor of Goat Locker Racing over the past couple years. So thank you again to Glove Station for everything that they do. As we take lap 21, Chris Bargetzi is getting some pretty good laps led up here, not just in the AM class, but overall as well.
Got 10 laps led now, and like I said, we're coming up on that corner mark, just past that corner mark of Bargetzi, of course, has stayed out now for 3 heat cycles on these tires. I wouldn't really even call it a heat cycle. We've spun the backwards. We've gotten into turn 1, and then the cautions come out. So 2 times in a row that the 441 has had an opportunity to lead this race, and rightfully so. I don't know that the tires have worn at all, so hopefully can keep it up here.
His running mate on that outside line over the last couple restarts, Ashton Asaro Nolan, has brought it down the pit, so he is going to go from the rear. He came down, he put 4 tires on it on that restart. The cars who have not hit it all yet up here are Bargetzi, Feltz, who's up there on the front row as well, 4th place Oki Montgomery, Daniel Krakeel, and Hamza Khan, who's a little deeper in the field, along with Nick Trussell. It'll be lap 22 when we get back going for Chris Bargetzi and Chuck Feltz. And we are going to have a drive-through penalty being issued to the 22 car of Skylar Daly, who was running 16th for a restart violation, but that's deeper in the field. It's Bargetzi, it's Feltz, as we hit the extreme scoring restart zone. We're green at Texas. Pretty good jump for Chuck Feltz up there on the outside. Let's see what he can do.
They get right on the inside, going to turn 1. That outside can't work. We're going to get 3 wide very quickly. There's the
Caution.
And the yellow in the back.
Well, Mark Whitley got away there for a second, and then the caution flew very quickly. It was, I believe, one thrown by the admins. So we will see the cause. Oh, it is going to be... We were wrecking before we even went green. This is Alan Bergen. There was a huge checkup. Dave Calvert... Dave Calvert either missed a shift or just completely spun the tires, and I think it was probably closer to the first one. Didn't go at all. Asaro Nolan got into him. Thaddeus Frio, Alan Bergen, it just all checked up, and then... Yeah, Larry Poling kept coming down the racetrack and got spun around there.
Chaos in the back of the field here.
That was brewing, like, before the green flag was even taken. We had that contact. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We will come back with you in a few laps. Stay right here on V-Speed.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
We are back here in the Alexander PC's ARCA West Series at the green flag. And as you saw, a couple of those cars who were running up front have come down and made a pit stop. So it's a brand new front row, Mark Whitley and Christian Angel. And Mark Whitley is going to check out up there up front, the 74. Joshua Thornton is going to run Christian Angel up the road a little bit. Angel's got the momentum off the corner, and he takes over P2. That car was going to be in hot pursuit of the 74 of Mark Whitley, who's looking to try to grab his first of what will likely be multiple Pro Class wins on the season. Look at that, we made it one lap.
Hey, we're back green. That's what we wanted. Having some problems in the back of the field, though. 43 car across the grass. Is it going to trigger a yellow? Yes.
I think if he kept that bumper off, it would have gotten it. That was so close. There were some problems in front of him too. Hamza Khan was a bit slow off the corner. I'm not sure if he got loose or what, but that was not related to this accident for Brock Price in the 43, making contact with Ashton Acero Nolan in the 42, coming into the tri-oval here, and Acero Nolan just comes straight up the racetrack. There you go. One more time, you see the in-car cam there. Not a lot Brock Price could have done. Just kind of got turned by Acero Nolan.
And suddenly you have a car on your left rear, and you think you're okay. You give him plenty of room, and you saw in front of that car that somebody had hit the wall. You know, I think everybody trying to give room, and then that quad oval sneaks up on you through that first entrance. Wall flattens out quickly, and drivers will have to be more mindful of that, but it's difficult, Sky, to get practice and kind of be aware of that when we've had so many yellows. You pace around this place, it's different when it's at full speed.
Yeah, and I'm going to check back on this. I believe that might have been the Hamza Khan moment that led to that car hitting the wall up in front of him. No, Hamza Khan just had his own issue. I think he got a little bit of the grass going through the tri-oval, and that's how he got slowed up, and that's what maybe slowed some of those cars up behind him. It was Armando Melgoza on the outside of Hamza Khan that was the one who ended up slapping the wall there on corner exit, but none of those drivers sustained any real damage, and that was ultimately not what brought out the caution. Brandon Wallace into the pits from inside the top 10. He is the only driver of the top 10. He's the only driver of the top, well, it looks like the top 20 to even bring it down pit road. So whole new strategy for Brandon Wallace.
Well, I think this is a perfect opportunity. We're 10 laps shy of the halfway mark, 65% fuel. I think he still have to make one more stop, but if we get a couple more cautions, I think Brandon Wallace can run this race out to the end. And as far as track position, we saw it earlier where drivers had stayed out, trying to kind of gain track position. You're still seeing that with some of these drivers, but for the most part, everybody has hit pit road at least once.
And while we're under caution, we can take this time to thank another one of our partners here at Goat Locker Racing. That is Cruisin' Classics. Located in Columbus, Ohio, Cruisin' Classics is a beautiful 56,000 square foot showroom filled with hundreds of unique automobiles. There is something for everybody out of their hand-picked selection of muscle cars and hot rods. Come on down to visit the facility today and check out their website at cruisinclassicsinc.com. cruisinclassicsinc.com. As we are once again under caution here in the Alexander PC ARCA series, we'll take lap 30 the next time around. Track temperature still very hot here, sitting at 125 degrees, and I wonder, Bradley, if that's maybe a contributing factor to some of the wrecks that we've seen tonight.
Well, I think another attributing factor is you have different talent levels, and we talked about that in Daytona. Of course, you had the front row at the finish line, two different classes leading side by side, but this is a different animal, intermediate track. So you've got two talent groups trying to race their way. And if you look at the Pro Series, it is spread out throughout this field, Sky. You've got the top three, then you have 7th place, which would be 4th in the Pro. You have 14th, You have 23rd, you have 28th, you have 34th, who is off the racetrack 1 lap down, just got back out there with Jake Ham. So spread out all the way through this field, and when you have that on these restarts, drivers trying to gain back and get to those positions where they're racing drivers that actually count for them, it can get a little hectic.
And hey, this is great news for Jake Ham because he started this race 3 laps down after that stop and hold penalty he had, and he's only 1 lap down. So one more caution, Jake Ham gets the lucky dog. He's back on the lead lap. Pace car pulls in. Once again, it's Whitley and Christian Angel, teammates up on the front row. And as Whitley hits the extreme scoring restart zone, we're green once again at Texas. Good jump for both of those cars. Not a great jump for some of the cars behind him. We're already spread out as Angel pulls down in front of Thornton for P2.
A lot still going on in the back of this field, though. Looks like we're going to make it through the corner.
There's a car around.
Thaddeus? No.
Take a look on that. That was Nick Trussell in the 022. Great save by him to not wreck that car and not bring out a caution. Could have been a lot worse for the driver of that 022 car. Back up front, we're getting a little bit of racing all throughout the field. Closest battle on the track is right here for P12. David Calvert with a send up the inside of Mike Swartz and sends that car up the track. He comes down into Barry Stevens and loses 3 spots, but makes it out without any further contact. He'll drop back to P16. Okie Montgomery, Daniel Kirkiel now right behind that car. Mike Swartzen in trouble. Losing spots rapidly as we're 3 wide behind him with Delaney, Daly, and Dave Calvert Sr. Delaney, the car who ends up getting the best out of that. He will take P19 in that battle.
Always great feeling when you have somebody get ran up the racetrack and then you suddenly become 3 wide as you just watched another touch on the, I believe that was the 08. Maybe the Chuck Feltz actually got a little contact as well. 78 of Logosa to the inside. But I think this is just a case of drivers getting back to the throttle a little bit too early and pushing up.
Barry Stevens moving through the field, just got up to P12. Kevin Price, on the other hand, having a bad time. He's slipped all the way back to P13 as that battle for P3 is on the racetrack. Yeah, Kevin Price is a problem. He's losing time. Anyways, Trevor Dyer has just gotten around Joshua Thornton in the 25 car. Trevor Dyer up to P3 now in that Alabama number 64. They're not playing in the college football title game tonight, but maybe he could try to get them a win.
Who do you have? Who do you have?
Indiana. Absolutely.
Well,
I don't know
we'll
what the
stick with
score
Big
is.
Ten.
We can check on that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and ruin it for everybody.
Indiana 3-0. Ooh.
Oh, 25 car got contact into 3 just now. That was the front end of Jake Ellingson. And they lost a ton of ground. They lost almost 2 seconds to Trevor Dyer. Jake Ellingson won it around this 25 car, but that was a close call.
And we'll take a replay on that right now as you see that 25 car as he makes a move to the inside as he's got Jake Ellingson back there as well. And Ellingson kind of takes the dive there. That was a great save by Thornton. I am not entirely sure how he held on to that race car.
I can tell you what helped is Ellingson got off the throttle after he kind of made a mistake. So thankfully, Ellingson backed it down and didn't continue to run over the 25 car. Gave him the opportunity to make the save, but he still wants around him. I know Jake Ellingson wants around this 25. He's got positions in front of him with Christian Angel, and they lost a ton of time. He's got to get it now.
Third lap 37 here for Jake Ellingson, who's just made that maneuver and gotten himself further up the road there in P4. Joshua Thornton still has that AM lead, holds it by about 0.3 of a second over the 96 car of Bobby Bender as this battle continues to rage. Thornton isn't really racing for any points here, but I bet he sure would like this spot as the 96 car right behind him of Bender slowly but surely gets closer and makes this a more even battle as we'll wreck it at the back. That is going to be another caution. We have Mike Swartzen and Dawson Delaney around.
Oh, and I think that's a 022 who just popped the engine there.
Might have been. Mike Swartzen still stuck in that inside wall. As this was contact from a different car. It was the 55 car of Okie Montgomery getting into the back of that 98 as they were 3 wide off the corner, and then that triggered the accident from there. I'm not entirely sure why Mike Swartzen was about 2 lanes down exiting the corner on the high side, but that was likely the cause of that accident. I think he had to tow it back to the pits there. Yes, he did.
End up 3 wide, a little pinch here. I think they realized the 82 had gotten down there.
Maybe.
But then this is the aftermath. Car 82 just comes back at the racetrack. And Russell locks it up, trying to avoid it.
Blew that engine straight up. Maybe money shifted that thing. Let's see. He's already taken his fast repair tonight. I believe he took it just now. Oh! There you go. There's some contact with Dawson Delaney. That is a lesson that they are going to put in the textbooks of why you get on the brakes when there is an accident.
I saw brakes, but I saw too much brake. I saw max pedal locked up. Just at that point, you can't control the car. So sometimes, you know, just lifting off the throttle and letting these guys calculate. As Andy, too, was trying to get back up onto the racetrack and had lost all steering.
Yeah, that 82 car was hardcore crab walking there. Nick Trussell will be able to get back out on the track. He does have that fast repair that he has already used there. As we're going to get another field shakeup as some more cars have opted to stay out as the full field came down pit road for 4 tires, except for Hamza Khan in the 905, who has elected to stay out. Hayden Meir has also stayed out, but I believe he has also requested an EOL penalty. I think he's got a damaged car and is potentially just trying to limp that thing at the back of the field. So Hamza Khan will be your one driver on old rubber as we are halfway through this race.
Halfway mark here, and Hamza Khan, Mark Whitley in the front row. From second on the racetrack back to 5th. All pro drivers with the 74, 27, 79, and 64. Brandon Wallace creeping his way back into the top 10, now top 5 in the pro class, and I think enjoying those newer tires than most of this field. Actually, didn't even take tires, so I take that back. Just topped off with fuel. It's amazing to me how many of these drivers are saving these tire sets. You can't take them with you when you leave. I mean, there's no rollover minutes here. Sky, I know that we have 3 tire sets that these drivers could take, and I'm not seeing a lot of people take them. I know they're trying to stay on strategy. There's a lot of mix-ups here with pro versus am. Some of these guys are taking it in the am class, and some of these guys in the pro class aren't. I don't know how I feel about any of them. It's just a mixed-up strategy, and I'm trying to make sense of it.
Well, Texas is a very hard track to pass at, and track position typically ends up meaning a lot here, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of these cars are just kind of playing the track position game. Hamza Khan came down 12 laps ago, so his tires aren't that old, but they are going to be older than, I would say, literally everyone else in the field who came down for 4. Brandon Wallace took fuel only, so if you want someone on a weird strategy back in 10th, there you go. As the pace car pulls in, it's Khan and it's Mark Whitley inching down into the extreme scoring restart zone. And we are green. Hamza Khan does not get going at all. And the outside lane powers around him with Whitley, Angel, Thornton, and everybody else. Caution. This was a admin thrown one, and we're gonna have to figure out what it was for. I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm working on it too. Maybe not getting caught back up in the field in time for the 85 of Jake Camp.
I'm not sure. I didn't see anything on the racetrack that would have led to that caution.
It's the only thing I can come up with as well is maybe the field hadn't completely caught up after pit stops.
Yeah, didn't see any accidents there that would have been the natural cause of that one. Josh Unger just got an EOL for incident responsibility. I believe that was for the last caution. Yeah, that was for the caution before this. So maybe just giving that caution so that they could actually get Josh Unger the EOL instead of just having him continue to ride around. That would be my best guess. And that is what race control is going to do. They are going to give an EOL to Josh Unger. They said he was not sufficiently grouped up to the rest of the field on that restart, so they are going to throw the caution and give him an EOL as a result.
I'm looking through this Discord right now, trying to find maybe a driver that we can talk to. And I don't know if you have anybody in mind, Sky, but
Let's see if we can maybe pull in here of the drivers who are running decently. We continue to pace here under caution. I think I'll try to call a Acero Nolan up here into the booth. Let's see if he is available as he runs in the 24th position right now on the field, trying to recover from some accidents. Hey Ashton, it's Sky up in the booth. How you doing?
Good, you?
Pretty good, pretty good. You're kind of back in the field right now, but you were running up front earlier. What's your plan going to be to get back through this field?
I mean, I'm looking forward a good tire strategy. I mean, I had a pit earlier. I missed where everybody else was pitting. I should have pitted there. I'm looking forward to trying to get back up there and fight for a spot.
Is it kind of hectic when you get a race like this with so many cautions? Is it maybe a little harder to focus?
Yeah. You get locked into a strategy, and you got to work around all these cautions.
All right, well, pace car's lights are off, so we'll let you get back to your voice chat, Ashton. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Have a good one.
It was Ashton Acero Nolan, currently running in P24. We've seen him as high as second over the course of this race, but he is yet to actually lead a lap, and he is going to have to move back through the field. West drivers have been warned, and if they are the cause of a caution coming out, they will get an EOL here for the rest of the race. So that is the directive from race control as we sit on lap 45, soon to be lap 46 of this one. Mark Whitley and Christian Angel on the front row, as they have been for a couple restarts. Now they're followed closely by Joshua Thornton in third, Jake Ellingson in fourth, Trevor Dyer, Bobby Bender, Brandon Wallace, Isaac Ortiz, Hamza Khan, and Daniel Parks. The remainder of your top five as we get ready to get back going once again here on lap number 46. It's going to be Christian Angel. It's going to be Mark Whitley. And as we trickle down towards the extreme scoring restart zone, Whitley is going to go right in the middle of it, and we'll get back underway at Texas.
well, that seemed to have cleaned it up a little bit.
Yes, it did, as we get a clean restart right there, as Ellingson immediately in hot pursuit of Joshua Thornton there in that 25 car right in front of him. Ellingson trying to make a move on the inside line as you see the cars fan out all over the back straightaway, looking for something back there. Ellingson door to door right now at the 27 as we're 3 wide deeper in the field. Ellingson has the spot at the line. Here comes Trevor Dyer joining this battle as well in that 64 car. What can he do? Thornton now up to that high side. He gets the better run into the corner, but Ellingson is there. He comes right back to him on exit, and it'll even right back up down the back straightaway. Great battle right now for P3.
Remember, Ellingson was trying to get around the 25 earlier actually made contact, so I wonder how long does Ellingson want to wait to get by. He's been working on this 25 for about 2 laps. Finally gets cleared, but has company from Dyer to the inside. 3 wide into the corner, and the 64 has the advantage off of turn 2.
Thornton goes back 2 spots there to P5. It's Ellingson in P3, but Trevor Dyer is going to give him everything he can handle in that 64 car as he's got the run right on the inside. Maybe clipped the apron there, slid it up the road a little bit, and that is going to give Ellingson the advantage. He's got the better run out of the corner as we head down to the tri-oval here on lap 49. It's a huge send from Trevor Dyer, and he makes it stick, but Ellingson is going to go for the crossover. They'll make contact off the corner, dooring each other up the road, still dooring each other down the back straightaway. Dyer has the advantage, but Jake Ellingson is not going to let him get away with that one, and now he'll make the dive off into turns 3 and 4, and this time he'll keep the spot.
A lot of work to just get to the 3rd position for Jake Ellingson, and he's not done yet. I think Trevor Dyer has something left there to maybe put a move, but Ellingson's going to kind of block that air, put him in a weird spot.
They're going to come up on the lapper here of Hamza Khan as they enter the corner, which could shake things up in this group. They should encounter him here right about when they enter turn 1, so we'll see how these cars navigate that. If anyone has to change their line to accommodate Hamza Khan right up here, the lap car running about a lane up the racetrack. Trevor Dyer with a send to the inside of Jake Ellingson right here, back door to door for P3, and Dyer has a little bit of a run off the corner. What can he do? Down the back straightaway and into turn 3. We've seen him not be afraid to make huge lunges off into that corner. We'll go 3 wide with Hamza Khan on the outside right there, but we stay door to door off the corner, and they are in a dead heat across the start finish line on lap 52. Dyer takes that spot away, and Ellingson will maybe go for a crossover here. He's going to get right to the bumper of Dyer. A little bit of contact. Gets that 64 a little bit squirrely off the corner, but he holds that spot. And Ellingson is going to have to re-rack after slipping back to P4. What is he going to do to challenge? Well, Dyer's going to get loose up in front, and that'll make it a lot easier for the 27. Trevor Dyer smacks the wall, and the 27 is through. Jake Ellingson gets a gift there for P3.
Little mistake there from Dyer. And as hard as they raced there just a moment ago, doesn't surprise me that the handling's starting to change on that 64. Joshua Thornton has been trying to sort out his situation as he actually took the lead. Not sure what happened here. Khan disappeared. I don't see that car on the racetrack right now.
We'll figure that out as we got a battle for the AM lead potentially brewing. There's the 25 of Joshua Thornton. Sits only 2 spots ahead of the 96 car of Bobby Bender, who's trying to make something happen for that position down the back straightaway, but they've got Dyer in between them right now, so it's going to take a second. As Whitley and Angel continue to run 1-2 up front, and they pulled out a 1.8 second gap on Jake Ellingson. This battle was closer earlier. It was down to 0.15 seconds, but Whitley has pulled it back out in front. And I think we're going to see these 2 cars be a little bit courteous to each other because these are teammates. They're not going to have any sort of panic.
Trying to find out what happened. Hamza Khan here. See, very slow on the outside. I think Hamza ran out of fuel.
He might have, because he ended up 2 laps down there. Something happened to Hamza Khan that just led to that car being majorly slow up there. And he's gone laps and laps and laps behind there in that car, as he has had not a great race, not the kind of race he would want there after getting a pretty good starting position there for Hamza Khan. His Angel is a little bit closer now to Mark Whitley, but Whitley has done a really good job of navigating the exits to these corners and continuing to gain time on Christian Angel as the caution flies. And we are going to see it as Armando Melgoza around on the back straightaway.
Went up on that 2/3 mark. We're starting to get some green flag laps in. I think now with the cycle on the tires, everybody's going to come down pit road, but this is all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack. Wow.
Whoa. That was a pretty hard lick there for Melgoza. Some contact with Douglas Macedo coming down the road there. It led to that yellow. There you go. Well, I believe that might have been the longest green flag run of the race, or at least close to it. We got about 8 laps in there. Yeah, he just...
Too much wheel.
Yeah, too much wheel. We got a bit loose and we're just trying to follow it down the racetrack there. I'm not entirely sure, but that is the end result. Is pretty big damage for Armando Melgoza in that accident, as we are going to see wholesale pit stops now from, well, it looks like every single car except for our Ashton Acero Nolan, who's going to play some strategy and stay out. We just talked to him a little bit ago.
Everybody else into the pit lane. Down off the exit. Close battle there. Jake Ellingson gets around Christian Angel. Gains a position there for the pro class.
And Noah Hogard has come down for fuel only in the 158, so he will restart in P2 next to Acero Nolan on that 0 tire gambit there for the 42 car. And then Mark Whitley, Jake Ellingson, Angel, Dyer, Thornton, Isaac Ortiz has jumped up to P8 on a 2 tire call. Kaiser and Calvert, the remainder of your top 10.
So I'm going to go back here on a quick replay and watch how close this battle was off of pit road. Let's see if we can find Jake Ellingson. Bring it down into the pits. You have to execute perfectly. This is actually a little bit further back than I wanted to go, so let's see if we can find this, dial this back up correctly. Watch right here on the pit exit. Look how close that is. That's the mark, and that's, you know, less than a hundredth or a couple hundredths of a second that those two came out of pit road, and that doesn't shake things up too much because we have Nolan Hogar up here. Ellingson's going to restart behind Mark Whitley. So they're still at the mercy of 2 cars in front of them. Had that been the front row, though, for this restart, that could have benefited Jake Ellingson big time.
Yes, he is looking to be in pretty good shape right now, as he took, it looks like it was just 0.4 seconds less in the pit box, and that was ultimately what got him that edge over Christian Angel there on exit. Whole new look to the front row. It is 2 AM drivers up front playing a little bit of strategy. Ashton Acero Nolan in the 42 car and Noah Hogard in the 158, who are going to run this no tire call. And we'll see if it works out for either of them here or if they get swallowed up by the rest of the field in a hurry. It'll be 21 to go when we go back green here from ARCA West at Texas. As Acero Nolan, and Noah Hogard head down to the extreme scoring restart zone. We're green once again at Texas.
Big jump there to the inside for Whitley already.
That 42 car is in no man's land. He is sliding back to the field. The no tire call, not the right call for Ashton Acero Nolan. He is in free fall. All the way out of the AM lead, about to go out of the AM top 5 here in a hurry as Whitley makes a move to the inside of Jake Ellingson for the lead of the race, but he clips the apron, and that is going to cost him a lot of speed. Ends up having to back out there, and it'll bring him closer to the 64 of Dyer, along with Christian Angel, who's just gotten around Hogard, who has managed a lot better than the car who started next to him of Acero Nolan did.
Ellingson got around Whitley there on that restart. It's an impressive jump there to get to that side, and you're seeing the 74, or actually 79 of Christian Angel dive to the inside trying to clear these cars.
as the battle still brews side by side back here for P2 with Trevor Dyer and Mark Whitley in the 74 and the 64 cars respectively. Dyer with the slide up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he will, as we're 3 wide behind him. Sean Kaiser sends Hogarth all the way up the track there. That was a close shave for those 2 cars. And the caution flies before Whitley can get another run at him. Oh, big one. Nick Trussell wrecked hard. This is contact with Douglas Macedo in the 62.
Winner there at Daytona has had some problems at Texas.
Big damage for Hamza Khan as well, back in that field.
And I just want to go back one more time, because if you watch on this gyro, Macedo's having problems with the exit of turn 2. He just continues to add wheel to it when it doesn't do what he wants it to do. Watch this. He's turning left. He's going to turn left. He's going to turn left. And more left. No. Not enough left.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's how you burn up the tires if Douglas Macedo, if you're watching this back. You got to drive it a little bit more using the throttle, a little bit more using the brakes. I know the tires probably aren't working the best, but they're going to work even worse if you do that, because you're going to shred them, you're going to overheat them. You're going to have nothing left, and you're going to be more likely to get in those kinds of accidents. We're going to take another quick commercial break here on V-Speed as we are right before 15 to go. We'll be back for the restart. Stay tuned.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
We are back here from the ARCA West Series at Texas, and as we get ready to get back rolling, it's Jake Ellingson and Trevor Dyer up on the front row of this race. Which of these drivers is going to be able to grab the win as we go to 15 to go? Will it be a driver on the front row? Will it be Whitley? Will it be Angel? Will it be any of the AM drivers like Skylar Daly who lurk behind them? Let's find out. Pace car is in, and as we hit the extreme scoring restart zone, we are once again green at Texas.
Ellingson with the lead, took it away from Whitley there on that last restart in the clean air. Advantageous to be out front here in the Pro Series, in that Pro class. You can tell the speed from Whitley, Christian Angel, Dyer, but they're going to have to fight in that dirty air, and Ellingson just has to defend.
We'll see if he can hold on here. We've seen cars start to struggle the longer as the run has gone on with loose cars, especially if you push it hard early. So you got to manage here. You can't just run 15 laps, pedal to the floor, or else you'll have nothing left by the end. As Whitley, Angel, Dyer, Kaiser run in line. Here comes Skylar Daly in the 22 car up to the top. He's taken over the AM lead. We haven't talked about him much tonight because the one time he got up front, he got a restart violation and had to go to the back. But he has driven all the way through the field since that has happened. He's sitting 5th. He's sitting in the AM lead, and he's on the same strategy as these cars in front of him. Great night for that 22 car.
Looking pretty good. Has a little cushion back here to Joshua Thornton. Thornton has looked fast. He's mixed it up with a couple of these Pro Series class drivers. I think Thornton has the goods to get up here and past the 22, but he has Sean Kaser in between. He has to work around the 46.
Oh, there is
contact. Ellingson gets moved out of the way. He's still trying to save it.
And he ends up having to take it into the pits there after contact from behind with Christian Angel. His black flags were cleared, but it is going to be a long way down pit road for that 27 car, and that'll end his chances of grabbing a win tonight here at Texas.
There's the pass for the lead. We had just missed that. The 74 had gotten by. Whitley got around. What happened here at 3 and 4? Maybe a block gone wrong?
Angel just sent it in a little bit deep there. Was really trying to make the move happen mid-corner. Maybe tried for a bump and run on Ellingson and ended up just bumping Ellingson and then running away. And Ellingson had a problem. He got spun through the infield. Trevor Dyer up to second, but not without trouble. Skylar Daly is on the outside looking for P2 right now as we take one more look at this replay. There you go. Angel just kind of gets into the back of Ellingson there and turns him around. Battle for P2 on the racetracks is heating up. Skylar Daly in the AM class is putting up a great fight for it, but he's got another AM driver, Joshua Thornton, just a couple spots behind him, along with Sean Kaiser.
And there's contact with Kaiser. He's got to get around this 22, and he's tired of the 46 being between them.
There's some madness back here in the AM class. There goes Bobby Bender around into the outside wall. That is going to be a caution. Oh, big hit. '82 car of Dawson Delaney, Kevin Price with some extracurricular, and Joshua Unger got a bit out of it. So we'll see the replay here. And that one almost happened out of turn 1.
Oh, someone ran into the back of the 82 just before that.
I saw it a little bit going through 1 and 2. Bobby Bender just kind of came up the track, doored the 41 car of David Calvert trying to make that move happen, and then down the back straightaway. Bender just got a little too high and turned himself off the nose of Calvert, and that was the cause of caution. And then obviously all that happened behind him, like you said. Dawson Delaney took a big shot from Darren Price that kind of unfairly collected him into that accident. Here you go. Nothing he could have done about that one.
Yeah, I heard him off the throttle. I thought he was going to make it through there, and then suddenly you get bumped up the racetrack into the incident. This has been a chaotic day here.
That is, to say the least, as we are inside the final 10 laps here in the ARCA West Series, sponsored by Alexander PCs here at Vegas. Time is running down for anyone to interrupt the drivers who have had a stranglehold on this field all night long. Cars like Mark Whitley, Trevor Dyer, who have been up here for a lot of this race. Obviously with Ellingson and Angel now a little further back in the field, Mark Whitley is going to become the overwhelming favorite. But you can't count out the AM drivers. It's an all-AM row 2 of Skylar Daly and Joshua Thornton.
believe you called it Vegas, and it feels like it's Texas, but it is a dice roll every single time we run around this place. I mean, you've got 2 or 3 different situations here tonight where guys can't get out of their own way, or, you know, lead change, and then suddenly we have 3-4 restarts in a row, Sky, that have put drivers that probably had potential to win this race behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, and those cars have had some major problems. I am really interested in seeing what kind of speed Skylar Daly has in this car as he starts in P3. I do not believe, have ever had an AM driver win outright in one of these races. We certainly haven't had one in either ARCA East last year or ARCA West this year, the ones that I have been commentating, but maybe we can see that tonight, because I know it takes a lot to upset Mark Whitley, but Skylar Daly is driven through the field more than once now. He's got a lot of speed in that 22. And so does Joshua Thornton, sitting back and forth. Hasn't been that contender for the lead tonight, but he's hung comfortably around the top 2 or 3. And if something happens to these first few cars, he could easily pounce on it.
Yeah, based off of Skylar Daly not being up here very much tonight, I'm going to go with the 25 for the AM class, just because I've seen his pace. He's maintained a top 10 most of the night. Outside of strategy, you know, we've had a few shakeups with restarts and such. So I like the probability of the 25's chances, but Skylar Daly's proven that he deserves to be up here, and he's done it twice. He's had a drive through the field. The initial start started in 19th in the field, had an EOL penalty, drove all the way back up here again. So I'm not doubting Skylar Daly to hold off the 25 as well.
We've got 6 laps to find out what happens and decide this race here in the ARCA West Series at Texas. It's going to be Mark Whitley and Trevor Dyer, like we said, on that front row, but anything could happen. We've seen leaders taken out numerous times tonight, and it wouldn't surprise me if one of these hungry cars backs here, Kaiser, Parks, Friel, does something big and tries to get it done. Thaddeus Friel was in a wreck about 30 laps ago, and he's driven it all the way back up to 7th. A lot of cars making big moves. As the pace car pulls in, Whitley and Dyer will slowly take us into the extreme scoring restart zone, and we're back green at Texas. 6 to go.
Already on the outside, trying to make quick work of it. Into turn 1. Daly holds him off, but he's going to push up the racetrack.
Well, I don't think you want to be that high up, because that's what can happen. You hit the wall there on the outside, and caution is going to fly. We're wrecking at the back. It's the 68 car of Darren Price. Yeah, he kind of just got turned by Joshua Unger. You'll see the replay here. Unger is a very optimistic into turn 1 and just kind of runs him over. There you go.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a hole there, but it closed up as soon as the nose got in there.
He'll come back up and he'll make major contact with that 80 car as well. Potentially a night ender for Kevin Price. I'd say certainly a night ender for Darren Price, because he's had enough issues as it is.
You can see a hole open up here for Unger, but it's not quite there. And a lot of times drivers are taking a late apex. 68 held his line. I don't think you want to shove your nose in there that quickly. Maybe go a lap, and if you're faster, you will get that advantage. But that's, again, tough breaks in the back half of this field. A lot of drivers, I think, are just, they know they're running out of time. And when you're down to 5-10 laps to go, you're going to take those opportunities no matter what.
Almost had another wreck in front of it as Jake Ellingson kind of tagged the wall, trying to dodge that accident, and almost came down into Daniel Kirkeel there. That was a close shave, but both cars made it out pretty intact.
Ooh, check up here on the restart as well. This is riding around with Jake Ellingson, who went off the nose of the 79 of Christian Angel just a moment ago. There's the dodge and just skims by it. Touch with the wall. Close call.
Close call for both of those drivers, and I think they'll both be happy just to be out and still in this one after a call as close as that one. So we are gonna, I'd say we'll take one more time to thank our title sponsor for this series, Alexander PCs. Alexander PCs is a custom and gaming PC builder who have been building and modding systems since 2002. They are a veteran-owned and operated family business, and all of the team members, support, and production are US-based. All desktop PCs come with an industry-best lifetime limited warranty and service guarantee. Work, play, conquer Alexander PCs. As we are going to go back green with 2 to go. Will not be a green-white checkered, but will be sort of a natural overtime finish here. What are you looking at, Bradley?
Well, I'm seeing here with Trevor Dyer, he hasn't had an opportunity to really race Mark Whitley. And so for the pro class, I'm watching the 74 and 64. I'm also watching Skylar Daly, who's held on. He's kept it here with Joshua Thornton, but has pushed up the racetrack on the exit of turn 2. I'm interested to see the AM class, what the 22 car has in store, if he can defend against this 25. There's going to be some shaky moves. I think an over and under, if you can get the run off of 2, maybe take the outside into 1, dive it down to the bottom on the exit. That sets you up for turn 3, and we talked about that in the pre-race. I think that's the best call, is to try to get the run into 3 and 4, because you're pretty much running wide open through that corner.
Well, it'll be Mark Whitley, Trevor Dyer, Skylar Daly, Sean Kaiser, and Joshua Thornton up here in your top 5 on this restart. Parks, Friel Jr., Angel, Feltz, Wallace, the rest of your top 10. And Mark Whitley and Trevor Dyer are going to be going at it not just for the lead of the pro class, but for the win of this race as well. The battle for the AM class is concentrated there in row 2 and 3 on that inside row, as you've got Skylar Daly and Joshua Thornton down there, but you cannot count out the 71 of Daniel Parks, also rolling, also wanting the lead of that AM class. He'll start up there in 6th in the 3rd row. Pace car is going to pull off this time, and we will have 2 laps to go at Texas. Can Mark Whitley maintain the lead that he's held for so much of this race? Can Trevor Dyer pull the upset in the 2nd race of the season? Pace car is off. We enter the extreme scoring restart zone. We're green at Texas. Did the 64 jump the restart? iRacing says no. It's a clean jump.
But this also sets it up a little strange back here for the AM class because of that jump, and the 64 moved down. 22 has to defend. 25 is going to take the outside.
Daly now holding on to 4th as they enter turns 3 and 4. Thornton and Angel are side by side back there. That's the battle for P5 on the racetrack as we take the glove station white flag. It is Mark Whitley pulling away with this one up front as he has quite a gap to the 64 of Dyer back there. Daly continues to hold on for the lead of the AM class. Joshua Thornton is going to have one last shot at him, just as Trevor Dyer is going to have one last shot at Mark Whitley. But for neither of those cars does it look like it's going to happen. Coming off turn 4, Mark Whitley is going to grab his first win of the season. It comes in race number 2 at Texas. Skylar Daly finishes 4th, and he is the winner of your AM class.
Whitley continuing to show why he's a champion. And Skylar Daly impressing me with the speed there in those closing laps. Equal tires with Joshua Thornton did exactly what he needed to do on that last restart.
He is going to get to burn it down here. Both of those cars are going to get to burn it down here in victory lane. Here goes Mark Whitley. We'll let you listen to him burn it down. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have results and interviews with your top 3. Stay tuned.
superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
We are back here from the ARCA West Series at Texas after a great race there, and we'll take a quick look at your finishing results. Scott Schreck, Bradley Cooper is our color and our producer tonight. He's really doing it all up here in the booth. In the pro class, your race winner and your overall race winner is the 74 of Mark Whitley. Trevor Dyer, Sean Kaiser, Christian Angel, Brandon Wallace, Jake Ham, Barry Stevens, and Jake Ellingson make up the rest of your pro field.
Had 10 cars there last week at Daytona, so this week only 8 in the Pro Series. Looking at the AM results, you have your winner, Skylar Daly, getting his first victory of the season. Joshua Thornton holds on to the second position. Then you go back to Daniel Parks, Thaddeus Friel Jr. in the fourth spot, fifth to Chuck Belts. Good day for the 75 for old Pegleg. Okie Montgomery will finish in sixth. Seventh to Chris Bargetzi. Sorry about that. To Isaac Ortiz is going to finish in eighth spot. Brock Price in your top 10 with Daniel Krakil.
And finishing back from there in P11 tonight in the AM class, you got David Calvert there in the 41, followed by Noah Hogarth, Hamza Khan, Armando Melgosa, Darren Price, Bobby Bender, Joshua Unger, Alan Bergen, Kevin Price, and Douglas Macedo.
This was a car that led some laps earlier. I think ran out of fuel. It's the 84 of Hayden Muir. Actually, take that back. That was another car. So I guess I got that one wrong. I'll have to go back there. And it was actually Hamza Khan that had the laps led and ran out of fuel. But then you go back to the 42 of Ashton Asario Nolan, who we had talked to during the middle of the race. He had stayed out. Got flipped on the strategy. 42 car is going to come home in 22nd, 23rd to Dawson Delaney, Larry Poling, Nick Trussell. Tons of problems here tonight with the 022. David Calvert Sr. is going to finish in 26th. Mike Swartzen, 27th. And Mark Cofield electing not to take the grid here tonight. I don't think we mentioned the driver of the 28th position one time here tonight.
As we will get into our interviews here after a great race at Texas, I think first we're going to call up into the booth our race winner tonight. That is the 74 car of Mark Whitley. Mark, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
A long time no see. By that, I mean it's been about a month. First win of the season. How's it feel?
It feels pretty good to go ahead and get it out of the way so early. At Daytona, I felt like, Daytona was Daytona. So you just kind of, if you get lucky enough to have a good finish, good for it. But, more times than not, you won't. So first real track, we have to go to that's, not just a super speedway. So it's good to come out on top and, get the, just get off that snide early and try to start racking them up again.
Yeah, you had a great finish here tonight, but you had to survive a lot of restarts. What is it like having to hold off that many cars, like every 5 laps?
Yeah, it gets a little mentally taxing a little bit, but you kind of start to playing games with people because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, then people are going to start learning what you did. That's kind of what happened on that last restart. I looked like Carl on my outside. He was trying to time it, and he did a good job because I was almost about to go but I saw him jump, and I'm like, nope, and I waited for him to lift, and then I floored it. So if he'd have been a split second later, I think he'd have timed it perfectly. But it's on those restarts, you kind of, I ain't gonna say you have to play games, but you have to have a little bit of gamesmanship trying to fake out when somebody's going to go so they can't time it. But yeah, it can be really difficult, especially there was that incident, I don't know, between Christian and the 27. I don't know what happened with them, but it's like they got into it, and I looked up in my mirror, and I was 2 seconds clear of the field. So I was just like, I wanted it to go green for that because I'm like, oh, it's easy sailing. But then caution came back out, and it's just, you just got to put down some qualifying laps and hope for the best. And, thankfully we were in a good position leading at the end there. I think that was where you needed to be. Clean air is king here. It's one of those things. We just got lucky to be where we were at the right time and just kind of pedal to the metal and don't look back.
All right, who do you have to thank tonight, Mark?
Yeah, first and foremost, all the league sponsors here: Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Alexander's PCs, Indiana Department Veteran Affairs, InVets, ATYL, all the guys that put on a great broadcast here with you guys at V Speed. It's a great league to be a part of. I'm glad I'm here. My personal sponsors, Harpoon Design. He's up there on the spotter stand for me every week, and he's in the paint booth every time we're not in the racetrack, putting together these awesome paint jobs. If you need one from him, check him out at harpoondesign.com. And if you're needing a new PC or an upgrade, maybe, the PC market's a little crazy right now, but check out Jawa.gg. They're the #1 online gaming marketplace. They got you covered in this crazy time right now, so go check them out if you need an upgrade. All the guys that sit back and watch these league races back in Harpoon chat. Daryl, he was spotting for Christian Vector. He's always tuning in. Appreciate them guys. And I think over there in my East, my dad finished 13th, so happy for him because he's hasn't been on iRacing very long, so I'm glad he got a decent finish over there. So, thanks to everybody tuning in these broadcast races. Without them, we wouldn't really be here.
All right, congrats on the win tonight, Mark Whitley.
Thanks, guys.
And we are going to throw it over now to Bradley Cooper, who is standing by with our AM winner tonight, Skylar Daly.
Yes, I have caught up with Skylar Daly in the number 22. Well, I got to say, I was impressed. You drove through this field a couple different times. You started about 19th here in the field, respectively. Then you had an EOL penalty. You drove all the way back up here, and whether it was strategy or fate, I think that you dictated the outcome of this race for yourself. You put your car up there where you had clean air, and you were able to hold off the 25.
Yeah, honestly, I was a little nervous after that EOL. I was like, all right, I'm in the back of the pack again. Let's see what I can do. And then I just kind of stuck to my gun, drove my driving line, and I just slowly made my way through. It just kind of hopes and prayers at that point.
Well, let's take it back to the middle of this race. You talked about the penalty. We talked about all the flips and the restarts, and it was very easy to get some kind of restart violation here tonight. I mean, we had, I think, close to 13, 14 cautions here. So how easy was that to make a mistake?
So for me, that EOL I got, it was either wreck my car in a pile up or just take the EOL, do a drive through or whatever it was, and just carry on with my race. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wreck the car. I'm going to save that fast repair, keep it in the pocket just in case. And then just, it is what it is. Let's keep rolling, keep driving.
Keeping your head on, that's the main thing. Sometimes you stick these things out and you come out on top, and So congratulations again, Skylar. Impressive drive. Only 2 races into this season. Still got a lot of racing left to go, but what's your confidence level like going on to next week?
I feel like we'll do all right. Might not win them all, but we're definitely going to race them all. So we'll be there.
Skylar Daly, the number 22, first victory of the season. Anybody come to mind to help put this 22 car in victory lane tonight?
Yeah, personally, it's I want to thank Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Alexander PCs, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, InVets, like all those guys are just awesome. I want to thank those guys, and obviously the guys at GLR here. Compared to last year, I've gained a lot of experience, learned a lot from these guys, and couldn't do without them.
Again, congratulations on victory, and we'll see you next week at Rockingham.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Well, there you have it, Sky, race winner, and accidentally moved Skylar down to the broadcast east, so I apologize for that. Moved him a little bit too far, but you gotta respect some of this restarts and some of the things that happen in this race. You even mentioned to Mark Whitley, you kind of get tunnel vision. You kind of get distracted. You start to forget the way this car is going to handle, and if you get to that long green flag run and then you have another restart, these guys did a really good job there on that, what would be a natural green-white checkered.
Yeah, it was a great race there and a great job to keep that clean. We'll take a look at our schedule real quick so you can see what is coming up, not just in this race, but over the rest of the season as well, because we've got a lot of ARCA series action coming up over the next few weeks. Next week, we will be at Rockingham. Same time, same place, and that is going to be a really fun one. And then over the next few weeks, we'll go to Atlanta and Lime Rock. So some very varied tracks coming to a V-Speed live stream near you soon. For myself and Bradley and everyone at V-Speed, along with all of our partners at Goat Locker Racing, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you at the same time next week. Have a great night.